by Omobola is kind of cool out here. Been chilling and listening to soft music, and you know what? It has helped to create an emotional and mental state for me. And now my energy level is so raised up. I'm ready for you. Don't forget you can catch up missed episodes on my blog site, matter2life.com, or another distribution channel like Podcast Addict, Deezer, Castbox, Apple Podcast, and Listening Notes, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Omobola. So, last time I talked about how you can avoid disagreements in your relationships or in your marriage, and I promised to round up the topic in my next show. So, here I am. Let's roll.
I told you every single time, don't you worry. You would always call me at the wrong time, so you can know what I was up to. Oh, don't you get that it's just stupid? Hey, just hear me out. It's been a while since we were good, so why we dragging out when we've been doing everything we could? I don't wanna feel so lonely tonight. Every time we spend time, I wanna do.
Okay, avoiding disagreements in your relationships. Next is do not be insensitive. The disapproval of a situation, beg your pardon, in a relationship may result in one party making certain requests. At first, this request is usually polite or made with minimal signs of irritation. When this request is ignored, it is often interpreted as either a challenge or a rejection. You will agree with me. Either way, the result is always confrontation. So, I need you to be sensitive to your partner's content. Really, you need to be sensitive. See the positive side of everything. Life is always as you choose to say it. Absolutely. To the pessimist, the glass will always be half empty, while the optimist sees the glass as full. Half full, I beg your pardon. Beautiful. Somebody once said, nothing is as bad as they say it is. It can only be as bad as you want it to be. Perhaps this is the partial truth, but your partner's actions can actually have an interpretation you give to them. If you believe he or she means well, you will rarely have problems with the things he or she does that you don't agree with. Critical eyes really will always see faults, even when there are none. Always, strive to be positive at all times, or at least until you can identify a repeated pattern of unwholesome behavior in your partner. This way, you will be saving yourself disagreements in your relationship, and that is absolute. So you want to look at personalizing your resentment. Now, when there's a disagreement in your relationship, do not launch out an all-verbal attack at your partner. Did you hear me? Do not launch out an all-out verbal attack at your partner. Watch out how you express your innermost desires. Make I statements. For instance, instead of saying it is only an irresponsible man that will stay out late at night, you can go ahead and say something like, I always get so worried when you stay out at night. How about that? Sounds so beautiful. Making I statements afford you the opportunity to take responsibility for your perspective and feelings in such a way that the focus is on you, as if you're really the problem and not your partner. How about that? This removes the tone of accusation, criticism, and attack from your statements. I like this. Okay, let's move on talking about it. In the heat of a bad situation, do not be the evasive party taking and I don't want to talk about it position. No matter who you imagine is at fault, call a truce and enter into dialogue. Talk about it. One of you may be surprised to discover that he or she is overreacting and that the situation is not exactly what he or she is imagining to be. By the time you have talked in a peaceful atmosphere, new facts may have come to light. You may even laugh at your mistakes. Who knows? A bad situation wouldn't get out of hand unless you can talk about it. I bet you. Of course, Let's look at compromising. And then some people don't like the word compromise. But it's very important in our relationships. In every dispute, all the partners involved hold on to a particular position or idea as it suits them, sometimes selfishly. A dispute between you and your intended spouse is no exception. When you hold on tenaciously to your own point of view and your partner does the same, there is bound to be a stalemate. The conflict continues even against your best wishes. So, you hoping that your partner will give in to your position while he or she is expecting you to do the same. There should, however, not be competition between the both of you. The real competition is out there. Be mature about this. Let go of some of your desires. Meet your partner halfway. Rationality dictates that he or she will do the same. Try that. A compromise means accepting a little discomfort in the interest of peace. Beautiful. Process your anger. There's a verse that starts with when a man loses his temper, his racing goes on vacation. It may shock you to learn that when you're angry, the difference between you and a madman is not of kind, but of degree. Ooh. There are many ways to handle anger, acceptable and unacceptable. You could choose to suppress your anger, in which case you're angry, and instead of letting it out, you deliberately try to control it. That's another way. You want to maintain peace on the inside of you. Or you can go ahead to express your anger by throwing tantrums around. You can also repress your anger. Repress. In this case, you do not want to accept that you're angry, probably because you believe that it is a sign. Pretending not to be angry rather than solving any problem only defies the doomsday, so why not say it out? When you finally explode, you will be dazed at the depth and scope of your anger. Suffice it to say that all these are unwholesome ways of handling anger, and when anger is denied or mishandled, it is bound to come out in indirect spans. You must learn to process your anger. Let's move on. Processing your anger entails, first of all, acknowledging the fact that you're angry. That's important. Then taking time to simmer down by doing something that takes your mind off the object of your annoyance. Reflect on the issue rationally, seek information on the situation, then approach your partner and talk about the issue in a civilized manner. In other words, refine your anger. Always bear in mind that nothing will cook your goose faster than boiling hot temper. So, lastly but not the least, let's look at praying. I like this. The quickest way to get back on your feet is to get down on your knees. Even the worst conflicts are as a result of raging emotions, and I must remind you here that you do not own yourself, nor can you choose the wavelength of your emotions, not at all. You can only control it with a lot of help from God who put it there, absolutely. The man who kneels before God can stand up to anything, no matter how dangerously his temper may choose to flare. And sorry to wrap up. I hate to go. Let's do this some other time. You can catch up missed episodes on my blog site, youmatter2life.com, or major podcast distributing platforms, Apple, iTunes, Deezer, Catbox, Podcast Addict, and so on. Remember to sanitize your hands often, maintain social distance, and stay safe always. Over. Love you.
I get so caught up in the middle, thinking of drowning in those blue eyes. I'm losing sight 'cause I am falling. I'm so deep down, and it's not a lie that I die.
Haven't seen you in a while. I never thought you'd be so wild. Things are moving way too fast. Why don't we slow down? Yeah, moving just like we used to. Baby, it's time to let loose now. Step back, deep breaths now before things get out of control. I hope you really like me. I want it to be you and me. I wanna give it all to you. I can show you if you stick around, yeah. All I need is one night to change your mind. Wait until the morning before you get out of here. time, yeah. More time to change our lives, yeah. We could be the greatest if you just give us a chance, yeah.